conversation, but I'm going to ask you to give me your attention right now. And wherever you happen to be in your conversation, I'd like you to bring it to an end, and because we'll have a little bit more time if we're timely in our last few presentations. Thank you very much. Okay, one of the things that I'd like you to do before we start with our next round, hearing from a lifelong learning and growing food for healthy industry, is to bring your attention to the screen. We have an annual Rainier Beach Unsung Hero Award, and this year we want to open up the opportunity for the community to to help us with our actual voting. These are our nominees for the Rainier Beach Unsung Hero Award. Miriam Bio, Ifra from Rainier Beach High School, who is leading the Transit Justice Youth. For individuals, David Chestnut, Coach Vic Robinson, Shayna at King Donuts, Jenny Frankel, and Tammy Morales. And so if you are here, we have your contact information, and so we're going to reach out to you and ask you to formally cast your ballot for this year's Rainier Beach Unsung Hero Awards. We do have a category for organizations, and as you can see, organizations is not represented there. And so we will need some nominations for organizations also. And so this is just a first for us in terms of opening it up into the community, and we just wanted to give you a heads up on that. And so without, let's see. So moving to our lifelong learning section, one of the things that Rainier Beach is doing, Rainier Beach Action Coalition is doing with the Rainier Beach High School International Baccalaureate Program is supporting the students that they have going to the International Baccalaureate World Conference. I happened to be at a meeting, Seattle Public Schools meeting, and ran into Colin Pierce, who is the coordinator for the International Baccalaureate Program. And we have some students here who apparently like you, so that's good. And we were talking about our Food Innovation District and Center, and he mentioned to me that this year's topic for the International Baccalaureate World Conference is on From Farm to Fork, Ethics of Food Sourcing, Production, and Consumption. Imagine that. Wow. Imagine that. And so we said that we wanted to partner and support the youth who are the contingency going to the World Conference in understanding our local Food Innovation Center and food system interests so that they can go to the World Conference and speak to it. And so that World Conference is in July 2016, and it's located in Denver, Washington. And so between now and then, Denver, Colorado, I'm sorry. Washington's the center of the universe, right? Okay. And so we're really excited about that for them. And there's some international baccalaureate students here. Stand up if you are international baccalaureate students. Just stand up for us for a minute. Stand up. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So to carry that momentum, I'm going to ask James Williams, Colin Pierce to come forward and talk about International Baccalaureate Program and whatever it is that wants to get you jazzed. So let's welcome them as they come forward.
Thank you very much, Gregory. We're gonna bring our students up here because they are more interesting and better looking than both of us combined. But you know, I think with that introduction to the Food Innovation District and the World Conference, do you want to start things off, James, and talk a little bit about the community outreach and how that fares?
I can. I'll be brief because I want you to get a chance to hear from our scholars, our brilliant IB students. They're much better ambassadors of the program than anybody else. I want to say a little bit about the outreach, some of the incoming students to the IB program at Rainier Beach. I want to say that when the community came together and partnered with the high school to bring the IB program to Rainier Beach, it was really important, and it was deliberately done in a way so that the IB program would enhance the education for all of the students at Rainier Beach High School. So at Rainier Beach, all students take some IB classes, right? And we watch the numbers, we watch the data. We want to try to make sure that our IB, the population of the IB students mirrors the population of the school. So we don't become like some other places in the city where it's almost like two different schools if you look at the advanced classes and the regular class. You know, so real quick, I want to talk about what some of the numbers are, who's coming in, what the population looks like, and then we'll hear from the real experts on the program. So in the class of 2018, those will be the students who are entering the IB program next year. It's for 11th and 12th graders. Of the whole class, African Americans are 31% of the class. 32% are currently registered for full IB. And if everybody who's expressed interest registers for IB, and we plan to make that happen, there'll be 40% of the full IB students. We're 31% of the population. At Rainier Beach High School, Asian students make up 25, there are 41 students, they make up 25.6% of the class. Currently there's 41.9% of the full IB students are Asian Americans. If we register everyone who's expressed interest, the numbers will change a little bit. There'll be 32% of the total class if everybody who's expressed interest registers. Of continental Africans, there's 35 in the whole class. That's 21.9% of the class. We have currently 14% registered. If we register everybody who's expressed interest, that number will change to 13.3. Of Latinos, there's 12.5 currently. 2.3 are registered for full IB, and if we register everybody who's expressed interest, that number will move up to 6.7. Of multiracial students, there's 3.7 in the class, 4.6 are currently registered. It'll be 2.6 if everybody signs up. Caucasians are 3%, they're 2% of the currently registered, and they'll be 4% if everybody signs up. Pacific Islanders are, it says, are 1.25% of the population. Currently, they're 2.3% of the full IB students. If everybody signs up, it'll be 1.33. I wanted to share those numbers with you so you can watch it like we're watching it. We try to be deliberate in our outreach to make sure that communities that are underrepresented in the numbers, that are not represented in IB, like they're represented in the student population, we reach out to organizations that work with those communities. We make sure they know what's going on so everybody can take advantage of the great opportunities that are offered by IB. I want to pass it over to Colin.
Yeah, so I'm going to speak briefly as well, because I do want you to hear from our students about the impact of this and also their excitement. We have students here who are going to be going to Denver. We need to raise $18,000 to get them to Denver, but students who are going to be going to Denver this summer to spark the Food Innovation District, and I want you to hear from them about that and their experience at Beach. But beforehand, I just want to say that this program is predicated, was brought in under the idea that our students here in Rainier Beach deserve the best education available in the world. And they do, and we know this. And we also know that the International Baccalaureate program is considered the best education available in the world for high school students. We unfortunately have this gap often. We say in our mission for our schools that we want every student to have opportunities and high expectations and all of that. Unfortunately, our budget is our real mission statement, and our budget doesn't say that. Our budget doesn't say that all students get this opportunity. Tammy Morales, who wrote a wonderful article for the Emerald recently, said it very nicely in that Seattle Public Schools, and I think our city, needs to decide, is this program that is giving these students opportunities critical to the mission of Seattle Public Schools? And if that mission is closing opportunity gaps and providing high quality education for all students, then it is absolutely critical and we need to fund it as such. We have been, thank you, and I think, yeah, absolutely, we need to fund it as critical. We have been funding it off of grants. We recently got wonderful news that we would have a little bit more time in trying to find permanent funding because the Alliance for Education and the district have partnered. It looks like there is some good news coming out of the state soon in terms of some state dollars coming to us, but it's all temporary. And so figuring out how do we make sure that this is something that's really funded on a sustainable level, that we don't need to fight for every morsel of funding that we can get, but that it's guaranteed. It's very, very important because these young people have had their lives touched in ways of, having these resources. And we want to make sure that these aren't the only generation that gets that, that it continues. So if you guys could talk a little bit about your experience and then also what are you excited about in going to Denver and being a part of this work with the Food Innovation District? Anybody want to start?
Hi. What I'm excited about Denver is that it's an opportunity for me to go outside of the classroom and to actually learn about the ethics about food and what we can do to change it, as well as learning about the Food Innovation District and how we can implement that in our own community to get us healthy foods and eat better, make our tummies feel better, because we need that in our lives, like really bad. And this will create jobs, and it'll create a lot of good, healthy environments in our community that we really need, and it's really essential that we go do this because, we're awesome, talented, amazing students, and we deserve the opportunities like this, and we're gonna go out there and make you guys proud.
Hello, my name is Naima. I won't be going to the IB World Conference. Sadly, I lost my chance. I'm a senior this year, so it's only juniors, I guess, right?
It's sophomores and juniors,
Yeah. But I'll be over here supporting you guys. I can tell you about my experience with IB. It helped broaden my aspects. It made me more open-minded. I enjoy how it's more hands-on work. Like, for example, in chemistry, rather than textbook-based, we actually get to be more interactive by, in our lab every Thursday and Wednesday. We do a lot of experiments, and also in history, it made me more, independent actually. Rather than the teacher spoon-feeding us answers, he guides us. Our teachers are like guides. They guide us in the right direction. And I feel like it's more of a college readiness program. They're going to send us out into the world ready. We're going to be ambassadors, I guess. Okay, yeah. The program. I don't speak in front of people a lot. I'm shy. Okay. I enjoy the program a lot. It helps. Hopefully, it'll help me become more confident speaking in front of people. So I'll just look at my teacher, Mr. Pierce. In Mr. Pierce's class in Theory of Knowledge, we like to use different, real world, areas of knowledge to come to different conclusions, not only in one, not from one view, but we use different perspectives just to get to get different ideas of what we're learning. Good. Yeah. I'm sorry. But thank you for your time.
All right, and I know we gotta cut our time and move along. So, we have some information both on the World Student Conference. We've got some letters that explain it and explain where the money is going to. And anyone who would like to contribute, or people who know people who might like to contribute to something that will really spark our youth leadership in the neighborhood on a very specific project, and like the Transit Justice Project, see some real change coming in terms of urban planning, in terms of our urban policy. Please send them our way. And then we also have available those statistics that James was citing, so that you can see that, exactly how we're trying to make sure this is a program for all students in our school. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's give them another Round of applause. You know, it's really easy to be excited about this, but the challenging part is to support it. And so, being really serious, this effort needs our neighborhood support, financially and more. So we're very serious about supporting our young people, and this is just one of those other measures there. So again, thank you. Quick announcement, there's going to be a community block party, Tuesday, May 17th, 5 to 8, 7700 Rainier Avenue South. Everyone is welcome. The location is the Emerald City Commons, 7700 Rainier Avenue South. Everyone's welcome. Free music, entertainment, free giveaways every 30 minutes, games, fun, children activities, barbecue. Barbecue seems to get folks stirred up. So I'll say it again, barbecue. Okay. And resource vendors. The purpose of the Black Party is to build hope and healthy families. So we're going to give Danielle Jackson some appreciation around the senior over there from the organizer and coordinator of it and her daughter Charity. Appreciate you all for being here. So we're going to move right along to our, I want to introduce you to someone that has a word or two for you. Her name is Nikita Allah. And I wanted to talk to you about her nationally renowned status. She told me not to do that. I wanted to talk to you about her accomplishments in being an attorney and a creative artist. She didn't want me to do that either, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to give her the mic. All right. Give her some appreciation.
Can't tell Mr. Davis anything. All right. Before I speak or do any poems, I want to acknowledge that we're standing on Duwamish land. Yeah, you can clap for that. I want to recognize my own ancestors, both known and unknown. And I want to invite you to do the same. I think it's important for us to step into spaces in our wholeness of humanity and our wholeness of spirit, because there's a lot of dehumanizing things that happen to all of us on a daily basis. And it's in that place of being dehumanized that we dehumanize each other further. I'm going to do an older poem. Mr. Davis said, do you have a word for us? What do you think we need to hear? And I was like, I don't know, Mr. Davis. We'll see what happens when I get there. I heard Jarrell already made this mic fairly hot. So I'll leave that to where it is. But I wrote this poem a few years ago. I usually use it as an intro poem. And over time, it's become a self-mantra. So I'll share that with you. When I tell people that I am a boxer, they almost always ask me the same three questions. 1, do you get hit? 2, does it hurt? 3, do you ever bleed? It's boxing. I think the answers to these questions are obvious, so in my head I go, duh, but I'm polite. So I say, yes, I get hit. Of course it hurts, and yes, sometimes I bleed. See, most people stop with blood. Most people are afraid of blood. Most people live in fear of their own blood, so I tell them, this is not the first time I've held my own blood in my hands. Watch the red droplets pool after a string of fighting words smash hard against my face. I am learning the boxing and life are really not that much different. My coach tells me, Nikita, you gotta learn to keep your eyes up. But truth is, I still haven't learned how to keep my head up. So as coach cleans me up, I stare into the carnage, settled into the folds of my flesh, the looking glass of my family tree, and I think, is this all that I'm made of? See, Muhammad Ali said, because yes, all boxers must quote Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali said, if they can make penicillin out of moldy bread, then they sure can make something out of me. So tell me, my blood, my body, what I'm made of, so I may know exactly what I could be made into. Spare me no record of wrongs, that I may not become a broken record repeating my family's history. Let me open every closet in this house, because I'm sure there are more closets in this house for me to hide my own skeletons. Tell me about my mother's father. How he liked white sheets in the dark of night, his cross set ablaze and burning in the eyes of little girls that looked no different than me. How he liked his bottle empty and his woman silent. Tell me about my mother's mother. Let me fill all of her empty and her silence. How she built herself up a broken home around my mama. Show me my mama. Little girl huddled in a corner beneath a roof too holy to shelter her from the downpour of belts and hands. Tell me about my father's father. Let me hear about back-breaking work and empty stomachs filled to the brim. Let me hear my father's mother sing our Negro spirituals. She'd be like, wade in the water, just wade in the water, children. Can't you hear her singing? How she raised her children up high above corn and cotton and taught them to flee before they could be plucked. Show me the glint of promise in their eyes as their hearts beat hard against rubber, flexed and melted down to once again be plow and ox. Let me feel how rubber and plastic feel no different in your palms when your bootstraps still refuse to fit this so-called American dream. Please show me just one dream. Show me the stars in my parents' eyes when they found out they were having this sweet little baby. How black and white have always been the making of classic movies. Show me my mother, once again in a corner, but this time on a cot in a hospital, and my father so used to fleeing danger that he could not figure out how to stay firmly put. Teach me how to stay firmly put. Teach me how to be a boxer, a fighter, how to stay firmly put. Remind me that there is no rot or rust or mold that I cannot overcome. Remind me that rot and rust and mold can become medicine. Remind me that my rot and my rust and my mold make me my own medicine. I am my own medicine. I am my own medicine. I am my own medicine. You are your own medicine, that there is no rot or rust or mold that you cannot recover. We are our own medicine.
Thank you, Ms. Nikita. Okay. You may have noticed the photojournalist display in the back. It is called Rainier Beach Project Overcoming Displacement. The artist, journalist is Zach Davis, and it talks about his artistic rendering of how to overcome displacement in the neighborhood. He interviewed a number of folks in the neighborhood, so we just want to give that a shout out, make sure that you have an opportunity to go back there and enjoy what he's been able to put together. And so we're going to move on to the last action area of the evening, and that is healthy food and healthy industry. And we wanted to share with you real quick, I know it may be a little difficult to see, some of the background behind communities of opportunity. You heard a little bit of an explanation about it earlier. Seattle Foundation, King County Public Health got together. They're interested in equitable development in the Rainier Valley, and they're interested in funding coalitions that are also about equitable development. So for Rainier Beach Action Coalition, as a particular member, we have 3 strategies that we're focusing on. Youth community engagement at Rainier Beach hotspots, advocate and plan for the Food Innovation District in Rainier Beach, linked with the Urban Farm and the Food Farm Hub, and to promote and expand Southeast Seattle FreedomNet adult and youth citizen journalists, and an online information commons for local leadership and initiatives. And so this is what the Rainier Beach Action Coalition is putting forward through and in the name of Communities Opportunity. They have been able to, or we've been able to, strategically align ourselves with Best Starts for Kids, which is the King County initiative, and we will be able to receive some resource for that. So we're kind of looking forward to that and excited about that. And so to continue the healthy food, healthy industry, you know what, I think I skipped somebody. in that last presentation around lifelong learning. So I need to dial back and then ask Jenny Frankel to come forward and talk to us about Department of Neighborhoods, Youth Voice, Youth Choice. And as you may not have realized, this is the Jenny Frankel that was a nominee for a Rainier Beach Unsung Hero Award. So let's give her some appreciation.
I'm already shy in a microphone. Thank you. Thank you. My name is Jenny Frankel. I work with the Department of Neighborhoods, Seattle Department of Neighborhoods. I'm here to talk about a cool opportunity in front of us right now. Back last year, the City Council set aside $700,000 of the city's budget to have young people decide how to spend it. This is Seattle participatory budgeting, and we now call it, and it is most appropriately named, Youth Voice, Youth Choice. So you'll see flyers in the back of the room. So what has been happening with Youth Voice, Youth Choice so far? Back in February, we had these idea assemblies all over the city. Some people, I hope, in here participated. And we collected 530 some ideas. And for the past couple months, we've had a group of young people, we call them budget delegates, and they have been narrowing this list down and putting like with like and figuring out where the duplicates are. And lo and behold, we have 19 projects, and they are going to be on a ballot that is online and looks something like this. And it's for youth who are 11. I'm kind of looking at this table right here. I don't mean to call you out, but it's for youth who are 11 to 25 years old. And these projects, let me just give you a little bit of a taste. They range from building houses for people who are experiencing homelessness. These are all ideas that came from youth, were developed with youth, by youth. Job readiness workshops for homeless youth, life career skills counselors, murals designed and created by young people, social justice workshops, ultimate frisbee camps. There's 19 of these ideas. And so on May 21st through May 29th is Vote Week. And this is the stretch of 9 days where you all, 11 to 25 years old, and all the 11 to 25-year-olds that everybody knows in this room should cast their vote. This is a new way to do business in the city of Seattle, so it's very exciting. We want something, we vote for it, we get it. So thank you for this opportunity.
So I see Pam Berry there. I want to give a shout out to her for her storied history of creating and making happen the multicultural dinner at Rainier Beach High School. It is scheduled for May 19th, next Thursday. And it's been happening how many years? Since 1984, and I think she's been involved in every one of them. Can you stand for us so we can give you some appreciation? Pam Berry, the Rainier Beach High School Multicultural Dinner. And so we are now going to transition into the last two presentations for lifelong growing food, healthy industry. And so I'd like to have Naisha from the Ethiopian community of Seattle come forward and share some information. She is also part of the Rainier Valley Core Program and fellow for Ethiopian community of Seattle. So appreciate you very much.
Good evening. I'll make this short because I want to go home and see my family. My name is Naisha Fort. I am a fellow with the Rainier Valley Core, and this is Claire.
Hi, I'm Claire West. I work with an organization called ROAR, Roots of All Roads. We're a mobile farm stand in South Seattle.
So Claire and I met a couple months ago working at the Seattle Tilt, and we realized that Rainier Valley has a food desert. And there are only 3 grocery stores, and the rest are little mom and pop liquor stores that carry a lot of processed foods. So when we're ingesting these processed foods, we are actually giving more money to the pharmaceutical industry so that they can continue to make billions and billions of dollars. So our goal is to bring a farmers market here to Rainier Valley. This is not going to be like your typical Seattle farmers market. This is going to be a culturally appropriate farmers market. I no longer want to walk into a grocery store and see the ethnic line. I want to walk into a grocery store where I can go and buy food if I want to buy injera, if I want to make lumpia. I want to make sure that it's culturally appropriate. When our grocery stores are putting ethnic, they're only sending out racist messages. So on that note, it is our goal to bring a cultural appropriate farmers market that represents all people of color. Sadly, it looks like our elected official left, so he won't hear this message, but he'll be hearing from us. He needs to be part of this opportunity. He's a representative of Rainier Beach, and so we need to make sure that he really invests in this community. So Claire, do you have anything to say?
Just that I'm very honored and humbled to be swept up amongst all these powerful folks and be a part of this movement in this part of the town, building better food sovereignty, I guess, for lack of a better term. We had the privilege of working with Emerald City Commons at the farm stand last summer. We were there on Mondays hanging out with Daniel and Charity, who left, and we worked with some of the scholars from the Urban Impact Freedom School, did some gardening with them, ate some snacks. It was awesome. And so we may be looking for some summer interns, high school students. Come talk to me. We can maybe pay you in vegetables.
And lastly, we are looking for other organizations, high school students who would like to collaborate with us to bring this farmers market into a reality. We can go a lot faster if we have the community providing and supporting us. And we really need to make sure that we hold our elected officials accountable and that they don't leave, that they stay and actually listen to the entire presentation. So we need your help. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Who wants to get paid in vegetables? Everybody? Yeah. All right, thank you. So we're going to cheat a little bit to kind of get you a little ahead of the game. We have one more presentation left, but we do want you to go to your folders and pull out the action area update sheets for healthy industry and the action area update sheet for lifelong learning. You've heard appeals from our Rainier Beach High School Baccalaureate program. And on the back of the lifelong learning sheet, you can see there's reference to the program and some quick win ideas. And this is essentially a way for you to lean in and provide some ideas on how they can be supported. And the same with the healthy food, the healthy industry. I want you to pull that out, and you just heard an appeal from Naisha about needs there. And so on the back, we want you to be able to identify quick wins and or other people who need to be part of that may not be. Another announcement is tomorrow, Seattle Police Department is doing a 3-on-3 Ballin' for the Community basketball tournament. It's the first annual community engagement tournament, and this is a demonstration of our police department doing some outreach and wanting to engage the young people in the neighborhood. And so this is tomorrow at the Rainier Beach Community Center, 4 to 7 p.m., 3-on-3 Ballin' for the Community, first annual community engagement tournament. And so I want to call, without further ado, David Reyes from the Friends of Rainier Beach Urban Farm and Wetlands to come talk to us about what that wonderful group is doing. So let's welcome David to the microphone.
Thank you. I know it's late, and so I'm going to try to be really as brief as possible. So for those of you who don't know, the Rainier Beach Urban Farm and Wetlands was born in 2009. So here we are in 2016 in a dream that was actually founded by one of our former board members, Harry Hoffman, who passed away a couple of years ago. And it was in Harry's house right across from the Atlantic City Nursery that the idea for an urban farm in Rainier Beach came to life. And so over the years we have been working very steadily, and at that time we formed a partnership with Seattle Tilth, and we were awarded a $500,000 operating grant to bring this into being. And so here we are in 2016 on the cusp of actually starting to break ground for what's going to be really a great asset to the community. So for those of you who haven't been there, it's located at 5513 Cloverdale Avenue, just on the other side of Rainier Beach High School and on the other side of Beersheba Park. And this July, we'll be breaking ground to actually reorient structures and actually bring more of the ground there to fruition and growing. So what's been happening? This past last month, I bid. We raised $2.5 million or so in the last probably 6 months through hard work of community members and foundations to make this happen. And the contract is going out to A1 Landscaping and Construction, who's centered in Snohomish, just up the mountain. So what's going to happen probably in July is that they're going to break ground, which means that our farm is actually going to go into sort of semi-dormancy, because we won't be able to actually do a lot of growing. But there will be some growing that's going on. Last year, the farm produced about 14,500 pounds of food, which sounds like a lot. That was on probably a quarter acre of real land that we can actually use, but the goal is to actually increase that production once the farm is back to full production. That food goes to the community. It goes to support low-cost food bags. So, for example, parents who are participating in the Tiny Tots program can qualify for that. We have elders from East African elders come to the farm as well, and they will cook food, and then they will share that. We have work parties for community members on Saturdays mostly. So if you're interested, you can come and be a part of that. We've had students from Rainier Beach High School come also to the farm and be a part of that. We have a wetland conservation program that's also starting, so that's going to continue during the construction. The idea is that once this construction is done, it'll be much more accessible as well to the community. Right now, there was a new gate, and I don't know how many of you have gone to Beersheba Park. There's a new gate at the south end that now allows access from Beersheba Park into the farm. And the idea is to connect the green space from Beersheba to the farm to the Pritchard green space and then to Pritchard Beach. And so that will be a great, again, another asset and a place for the community to come to. Just to let you know, too, we are also putting in, Anthony Reyes, who's no relation to me, he is the farm coordinator, and they have been working on also part of the farm doing food for us. So the idea is also to create a space where folks can come and gather fruits and nuts and vegetables as well. In the construction, there will be a new kitchen. How many have been to the community kitchens that have been sponsored by Seattle Tel? Right. So the idea is that actually on the farm there will be also a kitchen and classroom space. So there'll be more of the programming also on here in the community. My ask to you, because we represent hopefully the voice of the community as the Friends, and so when we meet and talk with Seattle Tilt, we are trying to bring the voice of the community to say this is what the community is interested in. We would like your voices to be a part of that. We're only 9 members of the community right now. We're also looking for new board members. So if you're interested in getting involved with this, to contact me, and I have some more information. So if you'd like more, yes, there's a question.
Yes, we need to hire locals to help with this project.
So we are actually asking that question to Seattle Tilt. We know because the property belongs to the city, we ask that they go out to local bidders as well. They actually had to go through a second bidding process because the bids didn't come in. We are trying to continue to advocate for local folks to be a part of that work. So we are the advocates for it, and we say that to Tilt and to the city. So that's also part of the community voice that we are wanting to get to the table. So, yes. I'm sorry? So I would say that's the city. I don't work for the city. I live just a few blocks away from here, so it's a voice back to the city. I think that's a part of the, I think one of the issues of city planning and permitting. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but I could get that for you if you'd like to. Yeah. And I can say that we are as disappointed as what you're voicing as well. Yeah. So what I will do is I'll find that information and I'll get it to David.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you. Let me know. Thank you.
Unless there's any other questions. Okay.
Thank you. So we put yellow cards on your table. We want you to write on there any questions you have about anything that has happened tonight. We know this wasn't an open forum, so to speak. We kind of change how we do our town hall meetings from year to year. We want to have you see a number of people who are doing things in the neighborhood. So we want you to really use those cards to write your questions down. If we have your contact information, we will be able to get back in touch with you. One announcement is that we're going to have a follow-up town hall meeting on May 26th from 6 to 8. That's a Thursday at Neighbor Care. And we're going to be looking at the information that you have shared with us and developing some strategies around them. And don't forget,
Where's Neighbor Care?
Neighbor Care is right across the street from Safeway. It is the medical and dental building that is operated by Neighbor Care. 6 to 8 o'clock on Thursday, May 26th. So we have come to the conclusion of our presenters, and we want to give you 10 minutes. We want to give you 10 minutes to pull out your lifelong learning and healthy industry update sheets, and we want you to give some attention to those for 10 minutes before we leave here. But before that, there's an announcement that... Okay. So the announcement can wait. Go! Yeah, so we want you, as you did for the first round, with a place for everyone and beautiful, safe place, is to give some attention to those sheets. Same process. Provide us with that information so that we can create strategies around them. And we'll check you. I'll give you a 2-minute warning.
Gregory, thanks for having us.
Hey, my pleasure, man. Glad to continue again. Yeah, we need to. It's like it's been
Good to see you again, too. Thank you. Definitely.
Oh, sure. So for her and Cindy, right. And speaking of, right now, YouTube, I used to base ugly or upload ideas, request, and use Maya to help me. So to me, it was like, oh, she's getting back in the thing again. And now we feel kind of okay. So what did you write down there? 60? 50? Particularly when, inward to
Can I get a quick vote?
That's what I do.
What kind of code is this gonna be? Oh, I was gonna say,
2 minutes, just 2 more minutes.
Hello. I know you have 2 more minutes, but I wanted to make a quick announcement. I get a lot of calls and emails from folks in this community asking for more awareness about city commissions, board appointments, that sort of thing. We don't have enough people from the South End represented on the city's commissions and boards. And so I wanted to share with you that the Seattle Human Rights Commission is looking for commissioners right now. They are particularly interested in people who know housing or homelessness, people who are doing work on human trafficking. So there are several different issues, economic development, but if you have any interest in serving on a city commission and you're any interest in human rights in particular, those applications are available online, and I would encourage folks in the South End to fill them out and try to get a little more representation. Thanks.
Okay, really appreciate you all for coming and you all for staying. Really important that you are able to do this. Important for the neighborhood, important for our next generation. So really appreciate it. Our evening has come to a close, and we want to make sure that whatever materials you prepare, that you make sure you leave them on the table. One is the survey from Emerald City Bible Fellowship on what to do with the remaining portion of their land. The other is the action area update sheets, and then your questions on the yellow cards. Oh my God. So with that said, we will be in touch with you, continue to update you on what's going on in Rainier Beach. As you can see, it's a lot of activity that is really contributing to this neighborhood being vital, vibrant, and equitable. And so we want to thank you very much. And if you can, help us with cleaning up, we would appreciate it. We had young people in that realm, and it's past their bedtime. So we'll have to rely on those who are still around to kind of help us with that. So we appreciate it, and we'll ask Patrice for some guidance on that. Oh, she's being interviewed right now. Okay, well, we'll leave her alone. She's got to get her her rep on. Yeah. So thank you very much. Appreciate seeing you. Hope you had a good time, felt it was worthwhile, and we will see you in the neighborhood.